Hey YouTube, I am getting everything set up for our barbell workout now. We got bodybuilding with either a barbell or heavy dumbbells or kettlebells. Just make sure that you've got a pair of dumbbells or kettlebells if you're using that. Otherwise, your core is going to max out way before your limbs. So that is the purpose behind that. And I am going to go ahead and get Instagram started so that we can get this thing rolling. So give me just a second. Hey Instagram, good morning. It is time for our barbell or heavy dumbbell or kettlebell workout. Now, if you are using dumbbells or kettlebells, I just ask that you have a pair of them to use, preferably the same weights, because if you're using just a single weight, your core is going to max out way earlier than your limbs would. And the point of this is to really push the strength of your arms and your legs. So I would rather you have a pair of dumbbells or kettlebells or a barbell to work with today. Now guess who got the lights on today? Me. I'm so excited you can actually see me today. So we're going to be doing bench press and front squat. If you were with us yesterday, the structure of it was 2 warm-up sets, 4 working sets. Everything was 5 reps. We worked with 50 and 60% of our 1 rep max for warm-up sets and then 70% on our working sets. Same exact thing today, okay? It is a very simple structure, and there's a reason for that. It doesn't have to be complicated to be good for it to work, okay? So this whole week is 70% for our working sets. That goes up a little bit every week in some capacity. Either it's going to jump up a lot and we're gonna have fewer rounds, or we're gonna have many rounds and long rest, okay? So there's lots of different ways that I go about it throughout these volumes and throughout the weeks. So if you want to just ride with what I'm doing here today, that would be great. If you want to change it up a little bit to work with what your goals are, maybe you're already following a program, feel free. And we can just work out alongside each other together. So I'm going to be starting with bench press. I'm going to have to do a little setup change here because the rack is set up for squats right now. So I'm going to do that setup change really quick. I'm going to make sure that everyone can see everything. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's do the setup change and then let's get rocking. Go ahead and get your rack set up for bench press. And of course, before we actually do bench press, before we do any loaded stuff, we're going to get a little bit of mobility warm up in to make sure that we're all good. If you are actually doing a workout with us this morning, please let me know. Always love to see if anyone's following along. We had a few people following along for Kettle Club. Let's see. We don't need those there. All right. That was tough getting used to a new rack. Knowing where everything goes and how everything fits in. Man, I remember the days I was so intimidated to walk up to a new piece of equipment in the gym, especially if I hadn't ever used anything like it before, because I was like, I'm an idiot. I'm not going to know how to set it up, and then I'm not going to know what to do. And that is a big thing that holds a lot of people back. So if that's you, you're not alone. I've felt that recently. I still feel it all the time. All right, safety bars off. I don't need that. If you are working out alone and you're maxing out today, maybe keep those on. But otherwise, I think they just want to get in the way. I'm not going to be going that heavy. We're going to be doing, again, 5 reps at 70% for our working sets. That should not be absolutely slaughtering you, okay? It should be challenging, but it shouldn't be so heavy that you can't get the weight up, all right? I'm going to be doing my first warm-up set with an empty bar because it's pretty close to what 50% of my 1 rep max is. Bench press is not my strongest, even though I love it. It's nowhere near my strongest, and that's all right. I'm not trying to be a power lifter. I'm trying to use this movement to make my other work stronger. So let's go ahead and start with 5 reps on Empty bar would be great. And then we'll do a 50% round and then a 60% round. My bun is just in the worst place. It's like stabbing the back of my head. All right, 5 reps with your empty bar. You can go up to 10 if you want. I just don't want you to exhaust yourself on these warm-up sets. After the empty bar set, we're going to do a little bit of scap movement as part of our kind of warm-up. So arms are going to be out in front. I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades down. And then we're going to reach forward. We're going to shrug up, squeeze back, squeeze down, forward, up, back, down. 3 more times. 2. 1 more time. And then keep your shoulders down and back. Open your chest. And then reach forward. Open the chest. When you reach forward, round through your back. When you open the chest, straighten it. 2 more times. And good. Okay, so now we're going to load up 50%. Again, it's pretty close to an empty bar for me, so I'm just going to keep it as is. Y'all load up your 50% and then get 5 reps in. This is a men's bar, by the way. It is a 20-kilo bar, so it's 45 pounds. I don't even know what my 1 rep max is on bench press right now. It's just not something that I test, and honestly, I have not followed this program to a T in a long time. So I'm basing it off of like 100 pounds. It's probably a little bit more, but I'm very sore. So I'm going to hold myself back a little bit today. All right, 5 reps at 50%. All right, let's load up 60%. My 5s. We're loading up 60%. If you have dumbbells or kettlebells to work with, it's not necessarily going to be 60% of your 1 rep max on barbell bench press, okay? It might be a little bit less, probably 50%. That's okay. Work with what you got. Now, if you want to work to the same feeling we're going to, 60% is still a warm-up set. So don't exhaust yourself. The whole point of this is just to get to know what this weight feels like. That's it, okay? I saw some movement on the chat here. Okay, so Coria, 75. So your 1 rep max is 75. I thought you were saying your warm up was 75. I was like, okay, way to gloat. But now I understand how you mean it. All right, let's do our second and final, or I guess third and final warm up set. And then we'll get to our working sets. 5 reps. All right, bar on the rack, and let's talk about it. We want to work to the feeling of probably 3, maybe 4 left in the tank. If we're working with 70%, it's not going to be 5 reps maxing us out, okay? It would probably be more like 7 or 8. So we're working to kind of 70% of what we got. So make a judgment call there. The reason is because we've got a ton of work to do this week. We've got tons of workouts throughout the week, especially if you're following both of them with me. Tomorrow is a rest day though, so that's kind of nice. But go ahead and load up your 70%, I'm sorry. And then we'll get it rocking. We're gonna have 4 rounds of 5 reps with a minute rest. Straightforward and simple. That's how I like it. Mostly because when I'm doing complicated kettlebell flows, outside of that brain work, I just want it to be off. I just want to have brute strength with my big 10-pound plates here. All right, let's go ahead into our first working set. 5 reps. All right, take your rest. I'll come chat with y'all on the rest. How are we doing? Good morning, good morning. Let's go. All right, who's doing the workout with me this morning? I'm proud to be here 2 days in a row, okay? This would never be me otherwise. I'm only here because I told y'all I would be. Especially after yesterday. Whew, I had a long day. That was like 18-hour day from start to finish. I had to do some quick girl math there. Yeah, it was a really long one. And then today started so early. I trained someone before this, so yeah, it's gonna be another long one, but we love it. We love what we do here. I have to say, I have a pretty fun job, so it's okay. I don't mind being tired. All right, round 2. Make adjustments to your weight if you need to. If that felt way too light, amp it up a little bit. That 5th rep should start feeling like a little spicy. Here we go. Or my 3rd rep. All right. Rack it and rest. Good old bench press, it never fails. I highly encourage you to explore some different grips on the bar. Try thumbless, try hook grip, try a little bit wider, more narrow. You know, just kind of depends on how it feels for you. I like a more narrow grip. I love using my triceps. I love using more shoulder, and I feel like all of that really like gets amped up with that little bit more narrow grip. I also have some of my matcha. All right, we've got 2 more rounds here. We're gonna switch to front squats. Let's get it. Two rounds, 5 reps, and then we move on. Fantastic. One other thing I want to mention is keep in mind this is being pulled from one of my programs, but it is week 1 of the program. If it feels like these 5 reps are like super heavy or super light, you definitely need to adjust it, and then also adjust what maybe you think your 1 rep max is, because this 70% should feel medium challenging. It should feel like the last couple reps are hard, but the first 2 are very much in the bag and you don't need a spotter, okay? So if it feels like, man, it's like really brutal getting these 5 reps out, you probably have a lower 1 rep max than you maybe think right now, or you're just fatigued. Maybe your arms are tired from a workout yesterday, you know? That's another factor to keep in mind. Week to week, it's not going to be an exact science, like, because there's so many other variables that we just can't predict. that we can't really measure either. And that fatigue piece plays a huge part in that. So, be gentle on yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you have to go down or up, or down 5 pounds, in order to make it work for you. All right, we got one more round, and then we move on to front squat. Let's do it. All right. Finish up that round. I'm going to go ahead and start converting this to a front squat setup. So it's the same setup we had yesterday. J hooks up just below shoulder height so that you're not going up onto your toes to rack the bar. If you don't have a rack, today is your lucky day because we're holding it in the front rack position. So your only limiting factor is the weight that you can clean. But you should be able to clean, I would say, the same amount that you can front squat, okay? So we're not going to be doing a weight that is so heavy that you can't front squat it because we're doing 5 reps on front squat. So it's likely going to be much less than your 1 rep max on clean. Make sense? So if you don't have a rack, you'll be fine. You'll just have to do a clean every time we get a set. No big deal, a little extra work. So I'm going to unload the bar, get these J hooks set, move the bench, and we'll get to work. The whole reason I'm live streaming workouts this week is because the app we've been working very hard on for the past 1.5 years almost is live, which is super duper exciting. But I wanted to ensure that there was no lag time between access to it in our testing version and the live version. So I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do all the workouts with them this week, just to make sure they've got a resource in some capacity. So, but turns out we didn't really have any of those huge hiccups that I was expecting, but I'm still going live all week because honestly it's fun. It's holding me accountable. All right, let's go J hooks. Cool. And cool. So let's all start with an empty bar set, 5 to 10 reps. And then we'll load up 50% after that. All right, 5 to 10 reps. Things staying tall. I am in my weightlifting shoes today. If you don't have weightlifting shoes, feel free to elevate your heels. You're probably going to need it on a front squat, okay? Keep those elbows up high. That is the number one thing I ask, is elbows to stay high, okay? Sit down in between your heels and keep your elbows and forearms parallel to the floor. Not forearms, bicep. Upper arm. All right, when you feel good, wrap the bar. Okay, so we're gonna have 50% next. I'm going to do 65 pounds. So I'm gonna put a 10 on each side. And this will be my first real warm-up set at 50%. It's a little bit less than 50% for me, but I will say my lower back was pretty sore yesterday from deadlifts. So I don't want to get into that scary territory of it feeling sore during these. The other way that this program works is it is 4 days a week. So I decided to do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday this week for our lifts. You could absolutely mix it up. The only thing I'd say is don't put day 1 and day 3 back to back, because day 1 does have back squats on it in addition to deadlifts. Day 2 is bench press and front squat. Day 3 is all back squatting. So that is specific to volume 3, which is the volume that we're following right now. But in general, I would say just don't put 2 days back to back that cover the same lift. Put a few days in between them. And then just keep in mind, you may not be able to do the deadlift day immediately into the front squat day, which is what we're doing right now. You might want to do your rest day on Tuesday and hit bench press and front squat on Wednesday. So however you want to break it up, following the order I have in there would probably be a good idea, but maybe you mix up the when the rest days are. All right, 5 reps. Let's do it. With more weight, it'll be easier to stay upright. It'll just feel heavier. Okay, so it's harder on the legs, but it's easier to stay upright because you've got more to kind of push against. But really drive your elbows up every time you squat. Arms should be parallel to the floor. 5 reps, and then bring it in. Now, one thing I'm not doing is this on the way up, okay? We do not want to get into that rounded kind of bridge troll back, okay? We want to keep it proud chest, hips just driving straight in, standing straight up, okay? Chest should come up immediately. When you go to stand, it should not fall. If your chest falls, you're over. If you are using this to kind of build up to being able to do heavier cleans, if your chest falls, that barbell is falling off of you. So that is the thing that's keeping it in place. It is also oftentimes the thing that people complain about the most with front squats. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more weight on the bar when I'm talking to you guys about this, but for the front squat form, you do not have to have a full grip on the bar when you're holding it. I let it roll out into my fingertips because the reality is I'm not going into a jerk after this, right? I'm just holding it here and I'm racking the bar. It's very safe. So I have my hand like that, okay? It's rolled out into my fingertips so that I can kind of wedge it into this little crevice of my shoulder, and it's just sitting there. It's like a little shelf. And from there, just fingertips and driving the elbows up, and that's all I'm focused on. You can see this red mark on my neck here. That's where the bar is sitting. You won't necessarily be able to breathe super well during it, but that's okay. It's only 5 reps. All right, final clean on here. This is our second and final warm-up set, and then we will get into the working sets. All right, elbows up high. Breathe in on the way down, out on the way up. All right. If you're using kettlebells, if you're using dumbbells, this is probably going to feel more like a front squat than anything else will if you are substituting for dumbbells or kettlebells. Like your back squat, it's kind of tough to emulate wearing a barbell. I would highly suggest just finding a barbell for that one day a week. It's just nice to wear it and really be able to load up the legs and not have the arms as a limiting factor. So just keep that in mind. It's not the end of the world. There are ways around it. I would say a heavy suitcase position would be your best case, and supplement with using a strap. I'll bring my straps tomorrow or Thursday so I can show you guys because we're doing back squats that day. But using a strap to help with the grip so that you can hold heavier dumbbells will load up your legs, hopefully to the point of them exhausting before your grip does. And That's really the thing I keep calling out, is that's the only reason I do like the barbell for this particular kind of work. I think I get damn near everything that I could out of my Kettle Club program. The only thing is I want to be like obsessively strong and aggressively like stronger in my Olympic weightlifting. And that's only going to happen if I'm really loading up my body for that. So that combined with the explosive work with kettlebells, it is a beautiful carryover into Olympic weightlifting. All right, y'all, final round of, actually I just did this. So we're gonna do our working sets now. So we are going to have whatever your weight is on the bar. I'm gonna have 95 pounds. We got 4 rounds of 70%. And then we're done, okay? It's quick. I hate steel plates. I think they're beautiful, but I swear they feel heavier. Who else feels that way? I've been dropping a lot of educational pieces today. Sorry, I'm slowing the workout down. But they're also important. And when I'm on live like this, I'm like, I just want to take the mic and let everyone know these things that are so important to me. So again, sorry about that for slowing it down, but all right, let's get it going. Let's do our 4 working sets and we'll be done. Front squat, again, let it roll into your fingertips. Then it's not pulling on your wrist. You shouldn't have it sitting in your wrist, like holding the bar up. Then your arms will be the limiting factor. We're trying to get past the arms through simply pushing it back into us. That's it, okay? Let's hit it. 5 reps. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, take your rest. 3 more rounds. Minute rest in between. I'm gonna try to hold us to that this time. But what's good, I mean, I said this yesterday about these workouts. What's good about these barbell workouts is they're way more efficient. I mean, I know that I'm sore today because of our 30-minute workout yesterday with the barbell. I definitely also do tons of work with kettlebells, so that's why that maybe wouldn't elicit that kind of soreness from that workout. You may be really sore in places you've never been sore because of the work we did with kettlebells yesterday. But man, the barbell, it's such a great addition to that. So if you are following both programs, I would suggest maybe doing this one first. Just kind of depends. If you're following both programs and you want to save this for the end because you're not going to be able to walk after, then maybe use a lighter bell on Kettle Club and then do this after. Or you do this first and then you exhaust yourself out there. You know, one of the two. Maybe also don't do them totally back to back. Maybe it's day 1 of your week, you hit barbell, day 2, you hit kettlebell, and you just go back and forth. It's another great option. I have plenty of people in my team following both programs, and they say it works pretty well. All right, let's do it. 5 reps, round 2. Whew. All right, halfway there. 2 more rounds. Man, it's kind of boring today compared to yesterday doing this by myself, Malcolm. Wish he was here. It was nice working out with your partner. especially at this hour. It's 8 a.m. now. It's not that dramatic, but getting here at 6:30 yesterday is a lot easier when there's someone else here with me. But I have y'all with me, so that is a good other option. Okay, round 3. Are we ready? If you need more time, feel free to take it. I'm going to go ahead and plow ahead. 5 reps. Spicy. Take your rest. We'll have one more round. Oh, mama, you cannot tell me that that is not good. I love a front squat. Yes, I do. It's such a good core developer. It gets your legs in just a whole different way. Man, it's obviously a lot of quad. Since you're wearing the weight on the front, you're staying more upright. It's way more knee flexion, ankle flexion. And you're able to sit taller. So again, more knee flexion. But yeah, such a good contrast to back squats. Again, you might have some residual soreness from yesterday. So breaking it up in some fashion, maybe doing Monday and Wednesday for day 1 and 2 is a great option. I felt good enough to be doing this, and I've kind of learned that I can do these 2 days back to back. And I just kind of highly doubt that there are many people out there doing all of my workouts this week who have never done them before. So now, if you are, that's amazing. Give me some honest feedback. How did it feel doing every single workout this week? Especially if you've never done any of my workouts before. I know you're sore. Anytime I do any new coach's workouts, I'm like, damn, I didn't think that would be as sore-inducing as I thought. But just moving in some new way with some new cue does it. We got one more round. Let's hit it, y'all. Let's do it. Get set. 5 reps. Woo! Let's go. Oh, yeah. All right. That was it. So let's talk about what we've got for the rest of the week. We are going to have a rest day tomorrow. So we're going to have a whole day off. I want you to really take it off. If you're following these workouts with me, I want you to take a literal rest day tomorrow where it's just maybe going for a walk, sauna, cold plunge, stretching, foam rolling. Do that tomorrow, okay? So that Thursday we're recovered. Now, there is also the possibility that you get delayed onset muscle soreness. And Thursday morning you wake up and you're like, damn, I'm sore. So if that is the case, I would rather you not follow the workout live Thursday morning and just follow it on Friday, okay? So like move the Thursday workout to Friday, move the Friday workout to the weekend. I would rather you get more out of it in a smart way than you just, be here on the live and like struggle through it when you're so sore, okay? Now I'm doing it either way because I'm the coach. I'll just adjust my weight accordingly if I'm super duper sore. I probably won't be doing true like 80% of my 1 rep max on back squat on Thursday. It just is what it is in order for me to talk throughout this, okay? So that is it, y'all. That was a workout. 2 for 2. We love to see it. Thank you again for joining. Please let me know if you have any questions. I got the question to show sumo squats. I am not warmed up for them, so I'm not gonna show them. I also don't program them ever. Powerlifting coaches maybe do, but I'm not a powerlifting specific coach. I'm more of a general strength coach when it comes to barbell work. And I just more in particular program things that translate to Olympic style weightlifting, and sumo squats don't really. But I would say seek out a powerlifting coach for that. I also have a labral tear in my hip, so it's definitely not something that I should be doing. And it's kind of something I shy away from programming even in my classes where I'm in-person coaching people, because you just never know what people have going on in their hips. I think finding that really extreme external rotation in the hip, we just don't know where their threshold is, and adding load to that in a class setting can get messy. So sorry for the long-winded answer to that, but that is the reason I don't program them. And so yeah, I'm not going to show the form on that piece either, because I just don't know that I'm necessarily the best person to show it. So I'm going to compensate a lot for this left hip. But thank you guys for joining. Really appreciate you guys. I'm going to sign off now. I will be saving these workouts to YouTube and to Instagram, so feel free to bookmark them, follow along at a later date, and I will see y'all on Thursday. Thank you. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for joining.